And today we're going to talk about just chapter 3 in The View from Saturday by E.L. Konigsberg. This is a Newbery Medal winning book. It's a 2-time Newbery Medal winning book. A medal winner, E.L. Konigsberg, which means that this author is an amazing author, winning 2 Newbery medals. I mean, like, that's amazing, right? And then she's also got some Newbery honors. She's gotten lots of other awards that I can't just even list. But anyway, so do you think that Margaret Draper is a good principal, or do you think that she's too strict? And were you surprised when when you learned that Margaret Draper, or Mrs. Draper, who is now Izzy, Nadia's grandpa's Izzy's wife, were you surprised about that fact, or are you the kind of person who doesn't get surprised by those kinds of things? I was pretty surprised. Another thing that I was really surprised was how everything was connected, right? Like, Noah is the best man for Izzy Diamondstein and Margaret Draper's wedding. And Izzy Diamondstein's granddaughter is, of course, Nadia. And Margaret's what was it? Oh, yes. Wait. I just totally forgot. Wait. Head clear. Okay. Now, one of her grandkids were Ethan, right? So those were their grandkids. And the thing is, grandson. I was about to say grandson, grandson is Ethan. And so Nadia and Ethan are technically related. And of course, Noah was the best man of that wedding. And now we see that Margaret knows Mrs. Alinsky. So like everything is sort of like a cobweb, right? So do you think that Julian will fit in somewhere in this puzzle? Or do you think that he's not gonna be in that story? What do you think? But anyway, so do you think, all these questions that this man is asking, right? Could you even answer one of them? Unfortunately, I could not answer one of them. But anyway, so were you surprised when this time there's a B and B in for Ethan, when earlier in the book, Noah writes a B and B letter? I mean, do you think that it's like connected? Do you think it's just a random connected thing, or do you think that the author just put that there to for fun? Like, what do you think? Why didn't the author put it there? Like, was it a coincidence or something else? What do you think? But anyway, so do you think that the bus riding is a really bad part of school, like the worst part of school, or do you think it's the best? Well, like a part of school when you're on a bus and you don't have to do anything and you're just looking out the window, in my opinion, that's pretty good. But anyway, but I've never ridden a school bus. My mom drove me to school, and right after that, the pandemic settled in, which hopefully might be over by the time that you watch the video. But, COVID pandemic, in my opinion, is going to last a long time, but hopefully it'll end by the time you watch the video. But anyway, So after that, my mom did not have to drive me to school because I just did online learning, and so sort of like that. Okay, so do you think that Ethan here should sort of hog seats here, or do you think that he should try, for the kids who don't have good seats, maybe he should try to leave a space for them? And if you have an Ethan, would you have also done what he actually did, or would you have done or would you have left the seat open? And why do you think that Ethan doesn't want anybody next to him? Maybe it's because he thinks that maybe the person will be bad or harass him or something, And were you surprised about all the information that Ethan knew about these famous women? And do you think that you could have known that much information about them, or do you think that you would have totally failed? Now, how do you feel if you had an older brother who's like the star of everything, how would you feel about that? And then everybody gets disappointed that you're not like him. How would you feel? And I want you to use a simile for this. You could be like, I felt as if the whole world turned against me after they heard that I wasn't like Lucas. So, if your name was ever made into a verb, okay, then what do you think that action would be? What do you think that you represent? If Luke me that information, please, and then the information will be organized, memorized, and set to music. And I'm actually reading from the book right now, And so that would be what Luke me, right? Luke means in a verb. What about your name? Anyway, would you like to live in the subdivision called The Farm? Would you like that, or would you hate that? If you could choose your subdivision's name, then what would it be? Well, I think that I would do Peaceful Hills. Yeah, Peaceful Hills. Calming Hills, no, yeah. Peaceful Hills, where I live on a hill, on top of a hill, so I'm really lucky, and our neighbor is really peaceful, and we live where there's a lot of hills. Yeah, Peaceful Hills, good enough name in my opinion. Now, so, okay, now, do you like history, the history of where you are, or just history in general? Ethan knows a lot about history, New York history. Or are you the kind of person, and if you see this whole book of history, you're like, oh no, and you just throw it out the window? What kind of person are you? I'm the kind of person who loves history. I even watch history videos. But anyway, so, the people who live in the farm, do you think that it's their fault that the farm, which was turned into a subdivision, and they were living there? And if you lived on the farm, then do you think that it would be your fault that you live there, and do you think that Ethan's mother is treating them a little unfairly or not? Do you think that a person who lives in a subdivision and a person called the farm and somebody who actually lives on a farm, do you think that how they think is different, or do you think it's basically the same? If you know science and all that. Well, it might be a little different, but I think that I think it could be similar. Yeah. If I knew what farming really was, and if I experienced a little bit, yes, I would know what it means. How to think if I was a farmer. And then this kid with this man came, right? Just, first of all, the man had a white turban, right? Just from that fact, if that man had an apron and this white turban, how did you feel this kid, who we now learn is going to be Julian, how do you think that this kid is gonna look like? About the same, about equally stranger in Ethan's opinion. Even though if I met that kind of kid, I would be like, hey, come over, because I like any new kid. So yeah, I would like it, but not Ethan, right? And like anyway, so like, do you think that when this kid came, like, which seat did you think that this kid was going to choose? Of course, Ethan's, right? And I think it was sort of, like, what do you think, like, do you think that it was fate, or do you think it was just a coincidence that this happened? What do you think? I thought that this was, I don't believe in fate, but, and also if you like people who really like fate, like physics and stuff, then read Hello Universe. I just wanted to say that really quickly. Hello Universe, you'll just know immediately why. Just read like 5 chapters, 10 chapters, and you'll be like, oh, that's what Jaden meant. And I'm right now doing a book club about that too. By the time you watch this video, it might have come out. So, like, from the description of the kid, like, would you think of this kid as weird, or would you just not have a second glance at the kid? It wouldn't be like the first thing I would imagine if on a school kid. Maybe I would imagine maybe some long pants, some normal socks, normal shoes, a t-shirt, and maybe a sweater, and a backpack, right? That would be what I would imagine. And like, do you think that this kid is like so strange, or do you think that he's a little strange, or do you think it's not strange at all? What do you think? Now, so do you think that like waving at your adult, right? Do you think that's childish, or do you think it's perfectly normal? It's perfectly normal. I would be a little embarrassed to do that, but if Julian chooses to do that, it's perfectly fine with me. I would like to be his friend. Now, because this kid, spoke in a British accent and said a lot of sophisticated words, do you think that makes him smarter, or do you think it just makes him look more sophisticated? And do you think that a British accent just makes you, like, at least makes you seem more sophisticated, or do you think that it's just an opinion? What do you think? Okay, but anyway, so Ethan said this. Even if he had asked if the seat was taken instead of asking if it was occupied, I could have told that he had a British accent, right? So he said like occupied, right? And also Ethan also, introduces himself while extending his hands, and also, and so like, in the end, do you think that the words that he uses, like indeed, like stuff like that, do you think that it makes him, do you think that it makes him just like know a lot of words? No, really. Do you think that makes him really strange? Like strange? Do you think that like using those words are strange? Now, so why did that suddenly Ethan's also saying indeed? Like, do you think that Julian's sort of sophisticatedness sort of rubs off on Ethan, or do you think that Ethan just wants to impress Julian? What do you think? Or do you think that, and also, how do you think, if you had been Julian, like, would you have been self-conscious of yourself and know that you're a little weird? Or would you be like, hey, I'm perfectly normal? How would you act? But anyway, so, here's the thing. Yeah, Mrs. Alinsky is their teacher, right? Would you like Mrs. Alinsky as your teacher or not? Quick question. So, do you think that Mrs. Alinsky is more nervous than her students? Or do you think that our students are more nervous than Mrs. Alinsky? Or do you think they're equally nervous? What do you think? I think that Mrs. Alinsky is more nervous than the students, right? And why would she be that? Maybe because since she's paraplegic and she's just a little nervous about how kids would treat her, something like that, you know? But anyway, so, you know, Ham Nap, right? And immediately, did you think that he was like a bully? I immediately thought so, right? And did you think that they were gonna have any more trouble with this guy? Well, we know that we do, right? Do you think that Nadia and Ethan, do you think they have like a friendship? Or do you think it's just like they have met, that's all? Or do you think that they have a friendship? What do you think? Okay, so, do you think that Julian will keep on trying to make friends with Ethan? Or do you think that, Julian is just gonna give up or something? Now, I have a question. Do you think that Julian wrote Cripple, or do you think that he was about to erase Cripple? What do you think? And do you think that Ham Nap and Michael Froelich, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, Froelich, do you think that they did it? And and also, how do you think that they made it so that Julian was caught in the act of erasing it? Or do you think that that was just extra luck and they weren't actually planning it? If you were the strangest person on the bus, like, would you care, or would you be like, hey, let people think that I'm strange? I don't care. But do you think that this is gonna like lower his chance of making friends, or do you think that kids like to be friends with weird people and strange people? Well, I wouldn't want to be friends with a weird, like, and strange, like, just strange. Now, I like differences. Just the word weird and strange. I want to describe Julian as weird and strange. Just weird and strange makes creepy images in my head. So, but Julian himself, I would like to be friends with him, and yeah, I wouldn't really care if I was Julian. But yes, I think that it would like totally ruin his chances of having the friends, except for Ethan, Nadia, and Noah, which we'll see soon enough, right? So, do you think that if you have been Julian, Julian doesn't really say anything about everything, right? If you have been Julian, would you have actually said, hey guys, stop it, I'm not strange, I'm not weird, and you guys are weirder than me, okay? So now be quiet so I can rest in peace. Would you be like that, or would you just be like that? I would say something, at least I would say, stop it guys, I hate it when you're like that. But anyway, so the invitation that Julian sent, do you think that was a strange invitation? And why do you think that Julian sort of made it a little confusing and making it look in the book? Why do you think so? And if you haven't Julian, would you have done the same? Now, so okay, so do you think from this information, what's one thing that you can sort of get from Julian? What is one thing that Julian is? What piece of information can you get from this invitation? Well, he certainly reads a lot of books, which I was like, hooray at, So yeah, he reads a lot of books, and then yeah, he's also really smart, right? Like figuring this all out. Pretty cool. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about was, if you had been Ethan, would you have thought that Nadia was also there, or would you have just been like, oh, I don't know, maybe Nadia is there, but I'm pretty sure not. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Did you think that it was a coincidence? So, do you think that a puzzle is a good gift, like in general? And then let's focus on Julian. Do you think it's a good gift for Julian to sing? Totally, right? And what kind of puzzle would you have wanted? Well, I don't care, but I really like Star Wars and Avengers puzzles, but I also I like nature puzzles a lot. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I like puzzles about nature. Now, do you think that a puzzle of a heart, right? Do you think that's the right choice? Yeah, it's the only choice, but still, do you think that's the right choice or not? What do you think? I think that it's the right choice. It's okay. Okay, but anyway, so were you surprised when Noah and Nadia also came, or were you guessing that sort of? I sort of guessed it. Well, not Noah actually. Then again, maybe so. I'm not really sure. I have to think about that actually. You know, Ginger, right? Do you agree with who is it? Okay, this is Nadia, right? Do you agree with Nadia that Ginger is a genius? And I have a question. Do you think that E equals MC squared is invented or discovered? What do you think? And also, quick question before we keep on going on. Do you understand E equals MC squared? Well, I know that E stands for energy, and then energy equals mass times mass and the speed of light, right? Which is that is squared, right? So energy must equal matter speed of light squared. And so I'm not 100% sure what it means, but I know what all the symbols mean, and I've gotten a million questions written down that I'm going to Google. But the only problem is when I Googled the first question, it just made me think of more questions. It was something like something M energy or something, and that just made me think of 10 more questions. And I'm pretty sure when I look at all those questions, I'll be like, what? So yeah, it's not helping. Okay, but anyway, so do you think that Alice is a good name for a dog or not? Quick question. Okay, so now another thing is this tea, right? Well, so now let's pretend that we've reviewed everything, and so overall, how did you think that the tea went on a scale to 1 to 10? And do you think that you would have wanted, do you think that if you had been one of the characters, you would have wanted this tea every Saturday, or do you think that you'd only like it once? I think that I would like it every Saturday, perfectly fine. If you had been Julian, would you have been interested in calligraphy, or would you be like, calligraphy? No thank you, I'm not interested. I would be really interested. I mean, I want to make my words really cool. So yeah, I would be interested. Now, so all in all, whose gift was the best? Alice, and Alice, the calligraphy, or a puzzle? I have to say I like all of them. You know, calligraphy would be really cool to make my words really awesome. But I would also like a dog. But I also really love puzzles. I don't know. And then again, I already have Legos, and they're sort of like the 3D model of puzzles. So I have enough Legos, so not puzzle. And besides, I already have puzzles. So maybe a dog? Maybe not, because my mom would allow it. And also, it might not be potty trained. Or, we travel a lot and we don't know where to put it. I mean, maybe the kennel, but still. And so yeah, I think that calligraphy is best, but also I like puzzles. Can't choose. It all depends on the person though. Do you like solving puzzles, or are you the kind of person who doesn't like solving puzzles? And think about it. Just from the fact that you like or do not like solving puzzles, could that information, just that small piece of information, do you think that could say something about you? Not just about solving puzzles. But anyway, so do you think that the Souls is a very good name? And would you like to be part of the Souls, or would you be like, the Souls? No, thank you. I would like to join the Elvis Presley club instead. I'm like, do you like the Souls? I love the Souls. I like it. And why do you think Nadia chose that? Okay, and another thing is, there are 4 teacups, right? And there's this in the window. And so think about it. Do you think that you can make up any connection? Well, this is my guess, okay? And I haven't read the whole book. I'm reading it together with you. Well, there are 4 kids in the Souls, right? Maybe the white, this window is maybe the Sillington house, and the white here, like the white trim and everything. Maybe that's part of the Sillington house, and they always have tea, right? 4 teacups. And think about it. Also, the view from Saturday on 4 p.m. That's when they always meet for tea. It's not we're thinking, why the view from Saturday? That's what we're thinking. But we've already solved part of the mystery here, right? Okay. Do you think that the Sillington Souls are better, or just the Souls? What do you think? I think that Souls are good enough. But anyway, so also I wanted to talk about Julian's magic tricks. Are you good at magic, or are you terrible at magic? One time I tried to do a magic trick. My mom totally saw through it. But then again, it was a magic trick. Like, it was this, just wrap a piece of tinfoil around this cup, okay, like around a plastic cup, okay? And then like the whole thing, so it covers the cup, right? And then tell your audience that there is a hole in the table that you can't see. But anyway, and then slide the cup toward you, but only a little so that people don't know. Or maybe just put it right here in front of you, like really close to the edge of the table. Now, say this. I will show you. Then, slide it all the way there. And then while it's at the edge, stand up. And then the cup will fall out of the tinfoil. When you stand up, it will fall to the ground. Yeah, that's what I learned. And so I tried it, but the tinfoil would just not come off. It was stuck there. And so yeah, it did not work. Still, I think that those magic tricks are pretty cool. Do you think they're cool? And would you ever like to learn magic? Yes. I know that like pulling coins out of ears isn't real. Like you have to have a coin somewhere. But like still, I could be like this. I could just be to my friends, hey, I'm a billionaire. I'm just like a billionaire, And be like this. Hey, look at this. I got a coin. And then put it in this pouch, which is already full of coins. And I could be like, yeah, like this. And pull coins out of all the ears. And then they will be like, oh my God. Jada is stealing my coins. That is somewhere inside me. Well, they'll probably be smarter than that, but still, it would be pretty cool if I could do that. Now, if you could relive a day of your life, what would it be? And okay, but before that, I have another question, and it's why do you think that Ethan begins to become a little more talkative and say jokes and things that he wouldn't say in front of other people, but says to the Souls, like to the rest of the team, right? And the rest of the group, Julian, Nadia, and Noah. Why isn't that he's suddenly saying this? Maybe it just feels like this is a really good friendship. They're an amazing team, and like he just gets the courage to say everything. But anyway, what day of your life would you like to relive again? I don't know, any day when I visited Yosemite National Park or Hawaii. I mean, Kauai, the island in Hawaii, that was amazing. But I also like Death Valley National Park and also Sequoia and Kings Canyon. But I also really enjoyed Joshua Tree. And no offense to Las Vegas, did not like Las Vegas. Sorry about that. Los Angeles was okay, but not somewhere I would like to revisit. yeah, I think that the national parks I've gone to or Hawaii, they're all amazing. Now, so do you think that a good day has to be like to have a good day you have to be like so happy and so like and feeling amazing all the time and like having every or do you think that like if you're really happy at one point and you just have a lot of fun, even if it's like Nadia, she had to save the turtle, so it was a little scary, but it was also pretty fun, like that, right? So do you think that it necessarily needs to be like, oh, fun, going to Disneyland kind of thing? No, right? Now, would you be proud if you had chops or not? I mean, it would be okay, but like chops, it just reminds me of pork chops. Which, like, and if someone says, you've got chops, I would be like, pork chops? That was what I first thought, and I was like, oh, chops. But anyway, so, if you could relive a day of your life and you're actually doing it every Saturday, like Ethan is doing here, would you feel happy or would you begin to feel sick of it? How would you feel about that? I would feel amazing. But now, oh my God, time has like flown by. And now we're already done with chapter 3, okay? Next time, let's just read a few more chapters. But anyway, I have a few last questions. What was your favorite part in the chapters only one chapter, in chapter 3, and then the whole book, what was your favorite part? And it might be the same. If you can't choose, then you could do multiple or just say, yeah, the whole book. I have to say the whole book. Now, so, what about, let's see, what was your favorite character? And mine, you can do like 2 or 3, but yeah, about 2. I don't know. I like all 4 of the souls very much. And now, so another thing is, what was your least favorite character? There isn't like any antagonists, like main antagonists. So the other team in the competition, right? This is sort of history, and then like the competition is what's happening, but like in between, like other pieces are coming in, right? So like, yeah, the competition, the other team in the competition, those guys. Okay, now, what do you predict is going to happen next? But first of all, how did you like this amazing book? I loved it, you know it, right? And like in the next chapter, maybe Julian is gonna come up, right? Because we've gone through all of the other souls, so Julian might be next, right? So what do you think, do you think that the story of Julian, well, we already know a little, but do you think that's gonna talk about the cruises and adventures that he has? Like, what do you think that's gonna be about? Or do you think it's gonna be after they meet as souls? And what are going to be a few what do you think that are going to be a few adventures that the souls might have? And you can think of other prediction questions. Those are the ones I thought of, but you can think of lots of more than me. You might have lots of other ideas, right? I have my ideas, you have your ideas. We all have different ideas. So I hope that you just, look and see, maybe this question could be good, And anyway, so, I hope that you enjoyed chapter 3 and The View from Saturday by E.L. Koningsberg. I hope that you had a great time with me and just keep reading because it's awesome and makes your brain stronger, And so, yeah, I hope that you had a great time with me again. Have a great rest of your day or night, and just keep on reading because it's awesome and be happy, okay? Bye! Keep reading The View from Saturday and other books.